Um, so we're talking about Trickster this week,
Yeah.
and I'll be fully honest and transparent here. I did read Trickster's lore, and I
hmm
did watch and read all of the lore from the tome
hmm
like 4 weeks ago, and we planned to do this.
I did a quick recap, and it was actually like it stuck in my head because like the lore really changed how I looked at Yunjin.
That's fair.
Because I was like, she'll fuck you up. Like before it was like, oh, she's gonna break a nail, but now I also kind of get the feeling like she carries like a 45 in her purse.
Yeah, yeah, that's believable.
Like literally she's got like four different kinds of tasers on her body. Like I just get that feeling from her now.
All the pepper
And
spray.
she was like, okay, so let's just like say everybody, welcome to our dead talk finally after a long hiatus. Um so Trickster got his name because of an unfortunate incident where a bunch of wires caught fire in the studio while he was out, like he was getting a drink or taking a dump. He was out of the room, and somehow a shitload of speakers fell in front of the door,
Oh, unfortunate,
so
unlucky.
they could, yeah. Which Trickster didn't do it. This is completely like other conspiracy theory area because why did the speakers fall directly in front of that door? And then everything's on fire, but he didn't do it. Like, it's very clear he did not do that. He just chose not to move the speakers out of the way
Yeah.
and let them all die. And like, okay, so when he was a kid, he like did little knife things at his dad's restaurant and helped bring in money. So he put that money towards like having him do training and stuff. And he obviously was like, I'm a very talented individual. And Yunjin found him and was like, you are a very talented individual. And pulled him to go with it, work with this team. And he loved it. Like, absolutely, this is
Mhm.
what I was meant to do. Loved it. But eventually he got jealous because all the fans' attention was being split five ways, and he wants it in one direction, not the band.
I was just about to make the joke. I was like, speaking of boy bands.
So anyway, when this whole fire thing happened, he was out of the room. He comes back. Speakers are dumped in front of the door. Everything's on fire. The band is yelling for him, and his initial reaction was to go help them. He literally got his hands on the speaker and was like, wait, this could fix itself. And then he just let it go. And everybody thought that he was like in there, like trying to save his bandmates. And he absolutely was not. He was just letting them, die in there. So anyway, Yunjin took this and ran, pretty much like changing his whole persona into like this wild man, but he's got a soft spot so you can save him. Like that was his branded persona, and then gave him the name of the Trickster. Um, and he actually got permission to do some self production and was given a little bit more of a creative leeway. And he decided that he wanted to put some human suffering into his sound. So he started kidnapping some people. Specific ones that were mentioned were a music student, a rival singer, and then a fan, just like kind of out in the middle, out in the middle of nowhere, just nabbed a fan. Um, because he developed a god complex. He was kind of looking at everybody as peasants at that point. Um, but he was leaving clues because he felt he was very clever
As
and
a
wanted
lot of
to fuck with
serial killers
people.
are.
Yeah, so he was leaving like little boas. He wrote in blood on the, I think it was the fan, I have
Mhm.
seen God, because obviously he thinks he's God. Yunjin figured out what was going on. Like, she had this gut feeling, like, something is amiss with this guy, and she was actually getting ready to drop him. He was like, as soon as she was done with this one last job, she was gonna drop him and move on, and unfortunately, like, she actually did figure out that he was doing some really, crazy shit. She fucking bugged his car, like, she had everybody watching him. She knew where he was at all times, like, had trackers on his phone, like, she was like, because he kept sneaking out, and she was like, "I swear to God," like,
As Augie put it, she had that woman's intuition.
yeah. Uh, so, like, she eventually, like, she had a conversation with him because she went into his room like, "What the fuck is this?" and actually found his tape, and he was like, "Ah, fuck, I'm gonna have to kill this bitch." But he turned it around and eventually talked her into thinking that, oh, he's just really broken up about his bandmates. He's not. Um, but still, Yunjin's like, "I'm still really suspicious of you," um, and kept tabs on him. And he took a singer that Yunjin had given her card to, and he dragged him out to a warehouse. He was using, I think, chloroform, maybe?
I think
He
so.
was using something, he's putting it over their face. Anyway, he took them to a warehouse, and I don't remember the specifics, but I think he realized that Yunjin was a comin'.
She was following him. Like he could see her car
Oh, yeah, yeah,
following
yeah,
him
he
the
was
whole
trying to lose her.
yeah.
And so he, like, sent out strategic text messages, like, "Oh god, this guy's kidnapped me," and he let this guy beat the ever loving hell out of him, so that when Yunjin got a hold of the police, they kicked down the fucking door. The guy that he had kidnapped and was going to murder ended up getting shot up by the police. Um, but Yunjin was still sus because she saw the knives and was like, "Oh, no."
Right.
But anyway, he ended up getting in trouble with the record company because they are not digging this new sound that he's making, so they are taking away his self-production capabilities,
How dare
and
they?
he has one more shot. He has 3 months to prepare. So he uses all of his resources, including, because this is what everybody does apparently, you find a veterinarian and you get in real good with them, and then you take all of their sedatives. And then
Checks out.
you make very good friends with the stagehand, who then gives you access to the entire theater,
GG's, I
and then
was the stagehand.
you pump in all this gas, and then you take everybody who came in to see his little performance, his last chance, and move them to chairs up on the stage. Everybody but Yunjin. Yunjin got to sit in the audience because he has a respect for her, and he wanted her to see, what his work was and how amazing it was. So he was like running back and forth like it was like a fucking xylophone. He was just like step, 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 step down the line, like making trying to make music with it. And he's got his music playing in the background. Like, it was literally like what you would think if you were having like a large sensual group sex of murder. Like, we got like what is that fucking song? I don't even remember it. The one with the fucking, the saxophone, off in the corner.
Oh, Careless Whisper?
Yes! Just fucking playing Careless Whispers in the background and stabbing people. Anyway, they did eventually die, and then he was like, "Alright." He bowed to Yunjin, and Yunjin's like, "What the fuck? I need to leave." And then the fog showed up and was like, "Hey, do you wanna, like, do this full time, but we'll let you keep self-producing in the fog?" He was like, "Fuck yeah."
So wait.
There's, like,
let's-
it mentioned, like, millions of eyes watching him and people that get to experience him, and he was like, "Yes." So the fog just, like, took them both.
Experience.
Experience is the word that was used in his lore, just letting you know, this is not me embellishing. This is lore verbatim that they got to experience him.
This makes his chicken outfit worse or better. Uh, I don't remember. I don't remember what the quote was about that outfit. Hold on. Give me like 2 seconds here. There was some quote about the Valentine's chicken outfit.
Mhm.
Um, I'm gonna have to open the game for it.
Oh no.
Okay, while I do that, let's maintain being productive.
Okay.
Augie's Twitch got hacked, and so whoever hacked them so that they could put their D all over their face. Uh, I just wanted to catch you up on that. Thought you would appreciate. Um, I totally forgot about him killing everybody in the theater and like letting Yinjin go. Like I remember reading that, but that fully escaped my mind. Um, like where my memory of Trickster left off was the guy in Brazil that he pretended kidnapped him.
Mhm. Yeah. So,
Okay, it'll be up in two
also,
seconds here.
let me just say that people keep thinking that like Ghostface and Trickster would get along.
Really?
100% Ghostface would kill his ass. Like
Who? I've literally never heard that. Who thinks they would get along?
I was looking for a Trickster picture, and I usually will just Google search, DVD Trickster, and then I go into the images, and I'm just going down, and it's like pictures of the Trickster and Ghostface like getting selfies together, and I'm like, no, 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 no. Ghostface would kill his ass. Like literally every killer would look at him walking in, and they're like, meh, let's kill him. Like I don't. Maybe Legion, but I feel like the moment they got a whiff of that ego, they're like, you know what? Let's kill him.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, Legion would take him out.
there
Um,
is not there's not a single killer that I'm like, I think they would tolerate him.
um, I think Michael would tolerate, not get along. I think Michael would tolerate because I don't think
Oh
Michael
my
would
god.
care. Is the thing.
I was gonna say that or Pyramid Head, because Pyramid Head would just like,
Also, just not care.
which would be his nightmare. Literally, that would be
That would be Pyramid Head's power against him.
is to literally ignore him.
um,
I feel like Trickster and Michael though, like eventually Michael would come kill him because you know that Trickster would see him outside of his window, just standing there. You start like blowing kisses and shit at him.
okay, so the new God of Desire outfit. Here's the description of it. He performed for his most hardcore fans on Valentine's Day, giving them a unique experience. He addressed the crowd of crying fans, asking them to be his Valentine. And then, um, well, oh, it was the unique experience. That was the phrase. So somebody pointed out, I forget where. I think it was like I saw it on Twitter, and they were just like, unique experience. He showed them his cock. You've seen an interesting video of Pyramid Head and Trickster Rule
Wow.
34. And hi, Alex. Yes, the podcast is back finally. We're back on track for once in a
Yeah,
while.
kind of. Yeah.
Hmm.
Um yeah, I don't think he would survive in the fog. Realistically, if there was an easy access door to each killer's individual domain.
Kind of like in Encanto.
Yeah.
The fog is casita, and
Yeah.
they each killer has their own door.
Mhm. There would be a line, honestly. I maybe Plague would mind her own business, maybe, but there would be a line. Just each person just walks in there, kills him, comes back out, the fog brings him back.
I think I think Charlotte wouldn't give a shit about him, but I think Victor would want to fuck him up. But I think
Just a
but I think he could punt Victor is the thing. And so I think when that happens, then Charlotte has an issue.
Yeah, the moment we hear the ting ting from the bat, Charlotte's gonna have an issue. But otherwise, I could see like Charlotte and Victor just running like the counter in the downstairs, and they're like giving out numbers like you would at like when you go to the grocery store and you need deli meat. Just take a number.
The ticket counters.
Yeah, Victor's just sitting there like, number two.
I love the twins. I wish they would stop nerfing.
Legion's just sitting there like, do we all need individual numbers or can we just go in as a group? Like, one
Oh,
of them's just dragging Dwight in and offering, like, what can I get for this guy?
Bubba has a number, but he doesn't know how to read it, and
My God, Bubba just comes out with like the face, the sparkle.
that's what they should have done when they removed the faces. They should have replaced it with the killer. I would totally play Trickster Bubba. That sounds amazing.
Just imagine that Bubba comes out of the door and then the exposed comes up. Everybody's starstruck and he's just wearing Trickster's face and his hair.
Oh, he'd be so pretty. Oh man. So
Yeah,
one issue with Trickster is we didn't get a map.
we really should have.
I know. I would have loved the
Hey,
studio
artist.
where the fire was.
Yes.
Just like a burnt down studio, like the remains of the building. I would have loved that.
Also, which
Big
maybe would
nurse
have
with
clues as to who the fuck lit it up.
um uh I agree, Augie. So Augie said that Deathslinger and Nurse would hate crime Trickster for being too feminine. Yeah.
I didn't even think of that.
Yeah. That would be a thing.
Oh no.
She's hate crimed for less, so
That is true. That is very true.
Nurse most problematic.
Yeah.
Moving on though. You were gonna say about the fire?
Yeah, because again, the description of all the speakers falling in front of the door, I feel like it wasn't an accident. And I really want to know who the fuck did it. Like, wouldn't it be great if it was actually
I
Yunjin?
was just thinking that. If she was literally just like, I see talent in this one, but we have to deal with the others. I don't think it's fully out of the realm of possibility that she would. Is what I'll say. But there's no evidence.
It was Kate.
Kate was trying to take out the competition.
Yeah, she got a card from Yunjin at some point, called her back and was like, "I'm sorry, but I'm with this boy band right now. I don't have the time for it." And Kate's just like, "Want bet?"
So, without a map though, where do we want to have this set?
Hmm. Hmm.
Because I don't think any of the realms really make sense. And we have gone outside of the realms before. Like we did a whole thing with Ghostface being
Yeah.
like Ted Bundy.
Yeah. We could do that.
Okay.
Thank you for feeding Stanley.
As for First Dead, I think Kate.
That was what I was thinking.
I was I don't know if you're along the same lines, but I was like eliminate the competition.
Well, I was just thinking that a lot of times he was picking people that have music, like the music student that he went for and
Mm-hmm.
then the singer that he went for. Like I think that the fan, like I feel like they were just like on his nerve if I had to guess cuz they were kind of like random.
That's fair. Um, I I also thought about it and I was like, because part of his thing was he wanted to capture like really good screams, right, while he was torturing. So I was
Mhm.
like, who has the most iconic screams? Elodie,
Yeah.
Steve, um, Claudette, and Meg.
Yeah.
They all have really good screams. I think those are like the four that like are the best screams.
Leon.
Leon does have a good. Oh, the sounds of Leon moaning alone.
Oh my god, the money he would make.
Yunjin's just like, unfortunately, we're only able to release this hit on, or this single on Pornhub. Uh,
Also, I finally figured out what's shining on my face.
yeah.
My monitor. Remember my monitor broke and I had to replace it?
Oh, you see a new
It
monitor
just
and it's brighter.
the shining beacon of my monitor.
Mm,
Just like
yeah, that checks out. I have the same issue. I've had to make a lot of adjustments to the settings.
so, yeah. Kate.
All right, let me pull this up. So,
Honestly, I see as the last survivor Yunjin.
oh yeah, I was thinking the exact. Are we agreeing for once?
Yeah.
This is weird. End of the episode. Bye, everyone. Thanks for joining the DEADTalk.
We did it. Yay.
We don't have to argue through
Oh,
anything.
artist has Trickster dailies right now.
Lucky. Have fun. I have a. I had a clown daily. It was like sacrifice two survivors. And I was like, with clown,
Mm.
with clown. So I changed it. And I just have to chase people with trapper for 3 minutes. Which
Oh, that's nice.
that's so easy. I just don't put any traps down and follow them around. It's. I love
Skip it.
cheesing challenges. I'm so lazy at this game. Okay. So Kate first dead.
Yes.
Do we want to go with um eliminating the competition or the just kidnapping someone with musical talent? Not TBD
I
calling you a
think
clown. Stop it. I
I
am.
think he's going to be kidnapping people. If we just have to determine who and why.
Okay.
So Kate died. He was creating his newest hit single. We need a hit single.
All right. And she is the other canon singer, so has to be her. I do think so. What I'm thinking with Leon specifically, I think at some point we should do a few deaths and then be like, okay, now the cops would probably start investigating this. Along the point of investigating it, Leon goes missing.
My god, they question. They're literally like taking him into the station and questioning him. And Leon like stubs his toe and he's like, and just Trickster's head whips up. She's like, that's it. That's what I've been missing.
the
Jill's
subtle
just like Jill's just like, Leon, fucking shut up, man. You sound like Pornhub.
the subtle moans of Leon Scott Kennedy. Augie says Yui would beat the fuck out of Trickster, and
Oh yeah.
so she might end up on the survivor list.
I was gonna say there's gonna be like a hit list and then there's going to be a hits him list.
Yeah,
Like people that are absolutely safe.
I think David could take him.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And you know that like whatever he struggled with the one guy in the car.
Yeah,
And I feel like David has enough pent up rage in him that if he tried it, he would not live it. Like he wouldn't be able to take him down fast enough.
but would Yunjin team up with Trickster and help him?
She ignored a lot of them
Okay,
until they couldn't really be ignored anymore.
okay. So
Like once
she
she got sus, she wanted to get away from him.
Okay. So she went and intervened and he was getting his ass handed to him from David.
Right.
Okay.
Unless it was early enough, then she might. But also, Artist thinks that Jeff could beat Trickster because he's too hot, which is also a good point. Is anybody too hot that they would actually take the attention from him?
Like anybody hotter than Trickster?
Yeah.
Ace. Duh. that one was for Robin. Um Leon.
Yeah, Leon.
Felix, Jane. Alex says
Uh,
Jake.
I mean, nowadays, maybe.
Yeah,
Um,
ever since Jake got that facelift, man's looking fine. Like
I think that Ash will be Trickster's downfall.
Ash?
Okay, just imagine Trickster and Ash walk into a crowded bar. Somebody's gonna get attention in this bar. Do you think it's gonna be Trickster? And also, do you think that Trickster could handle Ash? Because I don't think he can.
Uh, yeah.
So he's gonna he's probably gonna want to kill Ash, but he just can't.
I think Ash would. I know we talk about Ash being a kinky motherfucker every week. Um, I think Ash would kind of enjoy the knife play. I think I think he'd be kind of into it in a way.
He would be absolutely disturbing. Um, he takes a hit. He's strong enough to single arm a chainsaw and a shotgun at the same time.
Right.
And I have a feeling that Ash has gotten into enough shit that if Trickster came up and tried to, pull the whole
Yeah.
on him from behind, Ash is just gonna be like fine for way longer than you would expect.
Like he's built up an immunity to chloroform.
Yeah. He just he finally stops and he just turns around and looks at him like, this has happened to me way too many times before.
Augie says that most licensed survivors could beat Trickster. So who's our licensed? Who could beat him that's licensed? Ash, yeah.
Ash, yeah, definitely.
I don't, could Lori? I mean, Lori has
No,
held
no.
no, listen. Lori has held her own in multiple fights against Michael, who is
I have seen her
significantly
run away from him.
no, I
I
mean,
haven't seen her fight him.
and in like a lot of the later movies, she like beats him with objects to run away. But he's also far more sturdier and like pretty much immortal. Um,
Tap would catch him.
Tap 100%.
Tap has dealt with so much shit, and the fact that he kidnaps them and takes them to warehouses, like, this is his wheelhouse. He's just like, "Oh, yeah, I got this.
I
This is fine.
don't
They're
know.
only taking one person at a time? Oh, yeah, no problem."
I don't know. A Jill could take him.
Oh, yeah,
just,
Jill would beat his ass.
I, just okay. I feel like we need to end this with like just Jill and Yui beating the shit out of him. Um, I don't know about Nancy and Steve and Cheryl. I think Cheryl can put up with the torture, but I don't think she's got to fight.
Hmm.
It's okay if you forgot about Nancy and Steve. Technically, they aren't actually here anymore.
Like, Steve might be able to, like, at least hold up because, he's an athlete.
True. Yeah, like I
Quentin's
think.
Quentin is toast. Quentin is, like, one whiff of
Oh.
chloroform away from taking a nap anyway. Like, he literally wouldn't even have to put it over his face.
No, but
Just a
what if?
light
No,
breeze.
but think about it. Because he's always like fighting to stay awake, so the chloroform hits and he like falls asleep, and like a minute later he's like
Yeah.
waking back up, and Trickster just has to like keep putting him back to sleep.
Oh my god, can you imagine that? Like he took Quentin, he's got him in the back seat, just knocked him out. Yunjin's driving behind him, and then
And Quentin
fucking
just like
Quentin just
flies up.
the car swerving everywhere.
Please. No, that's 100% how. Like I think he'll get Quentin in the end, but it's gonna be a really long night.
It's like
Um,
if that happened though, and Yunjin was following him and he was gonna try and pull, I'll just have this guy beat my ass. It's Quentin.
right.
It just backfires.
Bill has taken literal shits that are bigger than Trickster.
Yeah.
Bill, Bill would destroy him.
Yeah.
So, do we want to start off with the people that he would one definitely go for, two definitely kill, then move on to if we get the police involved,
Yeah.
what happens from there, and then maybe a few more people that he would definitely kill before he starts getting like the Yuis
Yeah.
that slow his roll.
Yeah, when he gets too big for his britches and he goes for a larger target.
Yeah. Jeff. I know Jeff could beat him up, but I also think Jeff would just be really easy to chloroform.
My only concern with Jeff is would Trickster even be willing to put his hands on Jeff?
Why not?
Cuz he smells weird.
No, he doesn't. Jeff, I have said this so many times and I stand by it. Jeff is the cleanest survivor in this entire roster. 100%. The only character who has a more immaculate ass than Jeff is Trickster. He is clean. He is a tattoo artist.
Literally the end of his lore on the wiki. The dog became a stray again, airing while seeking the familiar trail of Jeff's multi scent.
Doesn't say it's unpleasant. Jeff, Jeff is the cleanest survivor. Maybe second to Adam. Maybe.
I think Felix would be very clean.
I don't know. Have you met Germans? I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Am I? Um, if my friend Missy from Hamburg is watching this, no, you're not. Um, okay. I think Trickster could actually take Felix.
Oh yeah.
I think Felix will be kind of that transition, like Felix and Steve would be more of transition into bigger targets that would put up a good fight, but he could still handle.
Yeah.
I think Serena's toast. I know everybody here loves Serena, but I think Serena's toast.
Also, yeah. I
She,
didn't know that Felix and Michael have the same voice actor. Things are really coming together.
do they?
Yeah.
No. I follow the voice actor for Leon on TikTok.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Do you? Yeah, you.
Absolutely.
I think that man just like I don't think he realized how thirsty the Dead by Daylight community was when he first did those lines. But then once he was on TikTok and he saw it and he was just like, I'm gonna capitalize on every second of this.
Oh yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I love the one where he's just throwing pens, just limp tossing pens like, "Oh, if I make this shot, I'll stop moaning." Ah.
Okay, so we have Kate. Yes, he
Yes.
has a TikTok. I forget his name, but he has a TikTok. Well, maybe I can click his name. Hold on. Is he on the wiki? Riley McShane. I don't know what his TikTok is, but I'm sure if you like searched for his name, it would be
I'm
there.
pretty sure if you just like type in Leon moaning, you'll find him.
Oh yeah, that too. But he fully capitalizes on knowing that everybody's into his moans. All right, so he stole Kate, kidnapped her,
Hmm.
killed her, because he needed her for his next hit single. I vote Meg, Claudette, or Elodie, or
Elodie.
potentially all three in any order for being the next targets before we get the police involved.
I was gonna say Elodie for her voice. I could honestly see.
Oh, you're muted. Your mic just like straight cut out. Everything cut out. I can't hear you.
I can't hear you. You
Oh, now
have
you do.
no audio.
Now you
What?
do. Whatever you said about Elodie, your mic completely cut.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was going for Elodie because of the scream,
Yes.
but I was just like, I could see Megan Claudette just being fans at a concert, and he hears them, and it's just like boop boop boop. Those are my three.
So all three of them go to a concert together.
Yes, but I think he goes for Elodie first because I mean she has got a set of pipes on
She
her.
does. Her scream is iconic. Did you know? You know how it's not as loud now as it was when it first came out?
Hmm.
That's because it was a bug. There was some
Oh.
bug that made her because all of the screams are so you know like how with Pinhead when he teleports, like you hear his first line globally
Hmm.
and he's just like whatever he fucking says, and then the I came is only for the person that's like nearby to hear it.
Hmm.
It screams are like that where it's not a global sound, it's localized. They're just loud enough to travel across the map typically.
Hmm.
They made a bug to hers that the scream was localized, so it always sounded like she was right next to you when she was screaming versus distance. And that was the bug. Apparently, the same bug happened with Yoichi on the PTB. I didn't notice it, but some people were calling it out. So when we get Yoichi, he might be also really fucking loud at first.
Noted.
Yes.
Another one he might go for then with the concert thing would be Lori.
Ooh, I'm good with that.
Just yelling from the like all the way from the back, I love you, Trickster! And he's like, holy shit!
She is a scream queen. Um, who else seems like a concert person? I feel like
That would
Jake
probably
is
be.
like never. Trickster would have to like run into him in the middle of the woods.
Oh,
Like,
yeah. He's never going in the woods. He's never going to find Jake.
yeah,
Jake is never going to see him.
Jake's just not gonna be part of this story. I'm so sorry,
Yeah.
Alex, if you were looking forward to anything Jake related.
Jake just survives just because of the fact that he doesn't. Like, unless we have a map that forces him to participate with the other survivors, he just doesn't.
Right. Okay, hold on here for a second. Okay, so he gets Elodie. Um,
Yes.
here's her at a concert, and that's the same story for Claudette, Megan, Laurie, right?
Yes.
Okay. So he targets them. Hear me out now. And this can be now or we can save it for later when we do like the next round of victims.
Mhm.
Where you know he just like takes them to like random warehouses.
Yeah.
Nia's tagging one of them.
Ooh.
And Nia just like hears some people screaming and she gets to fucking witness him just slicing and dicing away. And she can get out. She can go. Would she? She's very ACAB. Would she? I feel like maybe she would.
I think she would leave. I feel like Nia's smart enough. She
Yeah,
knows
she
when
knows
shit's going
she wouldn't
down.
fuck around with it. She would make sure that like she would urban evasion her way out of there. He would not know she was ever there. It's like
She's fucking TikToking it.
I think she would make it out just fine, but I think she would witness some shit.
I think she would live stream it.
Just go into TikTok live and just
Yep. And that's it. Yeah. TikTok saves the day.
like famous K-pop star caught on TikTok live. Michaela senses that Trickster is killing everyone, but she's too much of an empath to sense he is right behind her. A
God,
rundown
she might
hot topic.
maybe she doesn't get his face
Mm.
or anything like that. So like she is taping him and then like a phone notification goes off and she's like, "Well, time to go. Bye."
I like that. And then because it's all been caught and somebody knows that
That
people are being kidnapped and tortured, then the police get involved.
and Zarina because, reporter,
Yeah. All right, hold on.
which might also bring in Nancy because, wants to be reporter.
Yeah. Uh, all right. Make a note of that event. So now the
Mhm.
police are involved. With Nia and Zarina getting involved, I think they could easily be the next targets. If they get too close. Your mic's cut out again. Okay, we wanna try talking one more time? Can you hear me?
So I think this is going to bring in
Okay, now you're back. Your mic cut out again for a second.
weird. Um, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 so far. So he brings this is gonna get the police involved. So I think we would have Jonah because he has done some work with the CIA. So maybe he would get drafted into this to try and figure out where the guy's gonna strike again.
Okay.
Leon, Jill, Tap, and Zarina would be brought in for this.
Hold on. Wait. Sadako is coming early for Zen. Oh no. Um okay, so Jonah, Tap, Leon, Jill
Hmm.
doing the police thing
And Zarina and Nancy for
for journalism.
reporting?
Did you hear what I said about Zarina and Nancy? Or did the
No.
audio all cut out then? Okay. I was saying they could easily be the next targets
Yeah.
if they're getting into his business. Very easy.
Okay. What if
What if?
he now wants to get Nia because she got away,
Yes.
and we just have like a trail of bodies trying to get to Nia?
I love that. Also, the cops are trying to get to Nia. She has the
Really?
because she has the
Yeah.
TikTok live. They need to know where she was.
Yeah.
Everyone's hunting for Nia now.
Yes. Zarina and Nancy got a hold of the personal contact info. Um, we gotta start killing some dudes. My God.
I know we're killing a lot of fucking women. I mean, do you want to trade Lori out for Dwight?
Yeah, why not? Let's kill Dwight.
We'll get the OGs here. Okay, yeah, let's start killing some dudes. Fuck men. Am I right? Okay, so Quentin and Steve and Felix and Leon are going to be the easiest targets. Ace would be an easy target. Adam and Jeff, I think, would be tough but not impossible targets. And then we have, Bill, Tap, David, Ash. Just good luck. I can't hear you again. Why? Oh shit. Okay, I found out what's happening.
Okay.
Every time because I have my toggle deafen set to Alt D, anytime I just hit D, it deafens.
Uh, okay. Got it. Got it.
So that's what's happening. Okay. Um, you might have to take over some typing if my thing's gonna be weird. Um, but you were just saying a second ago. I saw your mouth moving, but I didn't hear anything.
It was just fixing Dwight hears him at a concert.
Oh, thank you.
But also we could have Tap be employed directly by Yunjin, either as a mole
Oh,
in the police getting her up to date because she's suspicious, or as an independent investigator.
I could see him doing independent investigating easily.
So Neoland, I feel like the next person that might get a hold of her is Jane for her show.
Okay.
And at that point, I think Nia might look into hiring some muscle.
So she hires Yui.
This is where Trickster has to throw in the towel because he's like, all right, let's do this. I'm gonna go kick her ass, or I'm gonna go kill her. Nia has contacted Ash, who brings with him his protege Steve. Yui, who doesn't understand why this guy keeps keeps showing up with her. Like she's like, all right, listen, I'm not dealing with you. I'm going to the bar. And Ash is just like, good idea. Yui's at the bar drinking, and Ash just changed to everybody. We're going to the bar. Like
Yui said to
Yui
meet
is,
her at the bar.
yeah, Yui is not a part of this, but Ash really wants her to be because she's such a badass. And she's
I
just like, I'm not your fucking minion.
I need like that fan fiction of just like Yui and Ash just kicking ass together as a duo, but her hating every second of it.
Oh yeah,
Augie has an idea. So
yeah,
Trickster takes out the cops to get to Nia, and Jill is the last line of defense. So she fights him to protect
okay,
Nia.
okay.
I do think Leon's gonna be the first cop to go.
Oh, absolutely.
We got just it's gonna be the reason that this movie gets an R rating. Just the most drawn out torture scene. Nearly erotic.
Yeah,
You know how like sometimes there's horror movies I like that almost erotic scene where you're just like, how is this actually in theaters? That's that scene.
yeah. Artist Yunjin is already suspicious and has involved Tap to go and look into him. Now you see how quick Tap got folded in the movies. He for sure dies first. He got like shot in the neck and survived.
Right?
And then came back. Like he didn't just get shot in the neck. He lived through it and then become obsessed. And is the reason like why a bunch of people survive, because he came busting in like, I did the math.
His partner, though, folded really fast.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
Poor guy. I really liked him.
This- He was like Sing or something
I think
was his
so.
name.
I don't remember his name. I remember knowing in the back of my head that he was going to die because of Tap's lore in the game, but I was still caught off guard when it really happened, you know?
Hmm.
Even if Leon does fight back, Trickster's gonna be real fucking determined for his moans. Oh yeah, he needs those. Okay, so Jane brings Nia onto her show.
Hmm.
um,
Tap is now a K-pop stan.
Nia hires Ash, Steve, and okay, hold on. Okay, make sure I'm not deafened. You can hear me, right?
Yes.
Sick. Okay.
So I think Jane dies, but like something has to happen where he's gonna have to drop Nia for now.
He goes on tour.
What?
He goes on tour.
Oh no!
He has business elsewhere. And then
Damn it.
we can have him kill all the others. We can
Yeah.
easily while he's just like touring around the world, we can take out Quentin,
Hmm.
Adam, Jeff, Fong, Lori, Cheryl,
Really just
Felix.
we got so many.
Yeah. Okay. So he takes out Jane first, right?
Yeah. It's like his last ditch effort to get a hold of Nia fails
All right. And
and he has
then
to go on tour somewhere else.
goes on tour. So now I say honestly, anybody who we don't consider to be like a final battle,
Okay.
we can just go ahead and be like, yeah, while he was on tour, they were gone. So
So Lori's going,
Ace.
Ace, Fung, because he wouldn't be able to fight Bill or David, Quentin, Adam, Jeff, I guess,
Yeah.
Cheryl, Felix, and then he'll get. When do we have him off Leon and Jonah?
Good question.
And then also Michaela.
Do we want him to I say he gets one of them before tour and the other after.
Okay.
Any preferences?
He's not leaving without that Leon moan.
Fair
Like
enough.
if he had to make a decision between the two, he's getting Leon. The thirst trap was too strong.
All right. So he goes on tour, but right before then, he kills Leon and gets those
Yeah.
moans.
It's his last night there, you know. He's got to spend it well.
So the rest of these killed on tour.
Yeah. Can I just say that I imagine Ace, like Trickster makes a bet with him, like I bet you can't hold this chloroform to your face for longer than like 30 seconds. Ace is like, hell yeah, I can. Can't.
Yeah, that's easy. Done.
Mhm.
Jeff, he literally was just like, "Does this smell funny to you?"
I say Jeff would also be easy because he could walk in like he's trying to get a tattoo
Yes. Stop it. It keeps deafening.
to he doesn't want the prying eyes of the paparazzi. So
I
Jeff sets it up with, no, it's not written on the books or anything.
private tattoo session.
Yeah. It's gonna be his first one too.
Is it? How much have you
Uh,
been looking at his body? Zed.
uh
Zed.
listen, we don't need to talk about that.
Zed.
What?
I'm just kidding. Okay. Quentin we talked about earlier. Just
That's probably gonna be what's gonna bring us into the end, I think. Quentin
so Quentin should
might be
be at like the end of
the
this list.
yeah.
I can do that. That's easy. Um, Lori, just iconic scream.
Yeah.
I think her being the first one killed on tour makes sense.
I like imagine like they're doing a promo and they're like, let's go to an amusement park because I feel like all the carnival lights on Trickster would look really good. And he's just there doing his thing in the middle of his promo, and then from the roller coaster behind them, this long, long, loud scream that brings all of production to a halt
Uh,
because it drowns out all of our other sound.
I love that.
Because that would not only intrigue him, but piss him off.
Do we want to specify for Fung Adam, Cheryl, Felix, Michaela? Anything special?
I do like the Michaela sensed something was up, but didn't sense him directly behind. I loved that.
Just
Um, Felix walked into a bar that he was at and immediately got attention because he was wearing those orange pants.
Are you saying that his ass is his downfall? Because that is so tragic.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, Augie says Michaela gets kidnapped because she was alone in a hot topic. Fung, Adam, and Cheryl.
Fung,
Uh,
he probably got her because she's famous.
but she's a famous gamer.
Yeah. I mean, depending on where you're at, a lot of, where the gaming is more, I guess, illustrious than here.
But, well, I mean, like, I don't get the motive. He's not
Because,
like, she's not like competition for him or anything.
yeah, but if you went to a place that's more, like, professional gamers are known, like, as well as like sports stars. Like the US, it doesn't seem like it's that much. I mean, I
Yeah.
know like a bunch of pro
No,
gamers because I like watching it, but
I'm not saying that. I'm saying like, okay, let's take the pro sports. If she was like an athlete, I still don't think he'd give a shit.
he would if they were in like in a similar location and eyes turned from him to her. Like I feel like it takes that one fan. Like if Cheryl was traveling with her, like since they're part of the teen squad, and like Fung walks in and Cheryl's like, "Yeah, look at that. She's so famous. Yeah." Like even if it's jokingly, you just see him like boiling on the inside.
Okay. I'll go with it. I don't understand it, but I'll go with it. I just don't think he'd care because she's not a musician. I think like for him it's the competition.
But he gets jealous of other people getting attention.
Like just in general.
Like even with his own band, like they're all in it together, but some of them like the others better. Like they might not be singers, they could be a drummer. And I mean if Fung is and I'm so sorry for everybody that hates this man. If Fung is the Tyler 1 of the gaming world, then that's gonna really piss him off.
Okay. I'll go with it because I don't know any other way to make her die.
I don't know why, but I just imagine Adam would have like the sweetest singing voice on earth.
Just because he's perfect.
He is.
Adam is the most perfect human being. Just, we adore Adam. I hate when Adam dies.
I do
It
too.
breaks my heart every time. I say with a smile on my face. um,
So Adam dies because he hears him like humming a tune on his way to the train.
oh,
Cheryl gives no shits about him because, I mean, things Cheryl has seen just. I mean, even if he like stripped down naked, she's like, "Listen, let me show you a very grainy picture I have on my flip phone." And not only does Cheryl die, but he has to destroy that flip phone now too.
What's on the flip phone? Is that a Silent Hill reference?
It's just because it's older.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because she's old. Because the game's old.
Yeah.
Oh, man. If only she had her sexy beam to defend herself.
Oh my god, if she had the sexy beam, that would
No, if
be
she had the sexy beam, he'd try to kill her. Again, he wouldn't
and
succeed,
take
but he would
he
be very jealous.
he would want that sexy
He
beam.
would. He would
Could,
absolutely.
could you imagine him trying to kill her, thinking that like one of the items on her body is what gave her the sexy beam,
Yeah.
and he like takes all of it and you just see him in his back
And
room
he's just
just getting mad and being like, "Sexy beam.
and nothing
Damn it."
happens.
Yeah.
He would want sexy beam powers so bad if he had the opportunity. That would hands down. He wouldn't
Mhm.
hesitate. I'm not gonna hesitate, bitch. Okay. Um enjoy Rhodey. Thank you for stopping by. Um
Okay.
let's
So,
see. Who's left?
so we killed Dwight, Meg, Claudette. Jake is never going to be a part of the story.
Yeah.
Nia is still alive. Bill, David, Tap, Ash, Steve,
Steve.
Yui, Yunjin, Jill, and Jonah.
Alright, I think Jonah's next to go.
Yeah. I think he goes before even Quentin, because I think Quentin is going to be the right before.
Quentin's the climax.
Yeah.
I bet people love that. Okay. A lot of people thirst for Quentin, by the way. I don't know if you've
I
witnessed.
mean, after he got, prettied up,
I
I can see that.
I still miss the days when he looked like sexy Squidward. I loved that portrait so much. It was It was beautiful. Don't look at me like
So
I'm wrong because I know I'm right.
anyway, I think Jonah is uh a target of necessity.
What does that mean?
Like he's not killing him for the voice
He's killing him because
so
he's
much
in the
as he's
way.
killing him because he's figuring it like he's Jonah's smarter than he is.
Yes. So Jonah's starting to figure it out.
Mhm.
Do you think he's the type to try and actually go and like confront Trickster on his
I
own?
don't think I don't think so.
No, he's too smart. That makes sense.
Yeah. Like I think he's like if Trickster's watching the news to see what's going on, somebody's going to end up interviewing Jonah because he's going to be like the brains behind it, like
I
figuring out
know.
where he's going to go. Um so he's like, "Okay, I need to get rid of him because like he's going to find me. Got to get him."
That makes sense. So after he kills Jonah, he continues on tour, runs into
Yes.
Quentin, attempts to chloroform Quentin, but Quentin just keeps waking up every like minute because he's not gonna go to sleep for very long.
Mhm.
His body fully rejects all of the chloroform. Um, let's see.
Yunjin is super sus. Like Yunjin has put two and two together every time they go on tours. Massive swath of murder.
Um,
She's absolutely got his car and his phone tagged.
so this is Dead Talk. This is a podcast that we do most Mondays where we pick a killer and then we create our own movie essentially in like the order of the death that everybody would be killed by them and then also like who survives. So we have Trickster who is going around killing a bunch of people. We have Nia caught him and she hired bodyguards Ash, Steven, Yui to protect her. We have Yunjin hired Tab as a private detective to stay on top of what Jonah, Jill, and Leon were looking into as police. Bill and David just kind of exist. And Jake's just out in the woods, so we're not even gonna fuck with Jake this week. He's
Yeah,
just
Jake's.
he has no reason to be involved. Okay, so you were saying
So now
I got caught off
they're
track.
okay. So the Yunjin's got him tagged, and so she knows where he's going. So she's been following him, which probably means Tap is also following him.
Oh,
There's
100%.
just two cars, same GPS tracking device. Jill probably figured out that Tap is like has been very interested in stuff. So I just imagine it's like Yunjin is following Trickster's car while Tap is following Trickster's car while Jill is following Tap's car following Trickster's car. Just a line of people following each other.
I'm into that.
And then we've got Nia and her squad.
And then Bill and David.
Yes. And Bill and David.
Which, I mean, do we want to do the same thing with Bill and David that we did with Jake? Of just like,
Yeah.
there's no reason for them to be involved. I don't see
Cause
any
there's
motive. I think if he took even a look at like David, he would be like, no.
just Bill's smoker voice, that cough.
Oh, gross. That would sound terrible in a song. You right.
Yeah. Bill is not even a target here.
Yeah, and he wouldn't want Bill's voice in any music at all. That makes sense. And then David,
Yeah.
too
He
British.
doesn't he That's fair.
Doesn't fit the aesthetic sound. Thankfully, Lukey's probably asleep or working. Didn't hear you make that joke.
It's somebody clips it and sends it to Lukey.
Nobody would dare. Anyway, okay. So he's kidnapped Quentin. It's very stressful because Quentin won't stay knocked out. Yunjin's
Yeah.
following him, Tap's following him, Jill's following Tap. Are we gonna have a Jill versus Tap showdown?
I don't know if there'll be a showdown. There might be a Scooby Doo esque team up though.
Elaborate?
Because they're from two different franchises coming together
Yeah.
to get the guy. Yeah. Yeah.
What killers haven't we done? We have not done Nemesis or Bubba.
Could also have Nia like rolling in because she's been keeping tabs, or Ash has been keeping tabs, and he's just like, you got to go kick her or kick this guy's ass. Yui actually comes of her own accord because she's like, I want to kick his ass. It's BYOB, bring your
Wait,
own bat.
wait. So, what if Yui is just like Yui fucking figures shit out because she's just smart and
Hmm.
amazing. And Yui's just like, hey, I know the guy that is probably gonna kill you, so I'm gonna go and beat him up first. And so she goes to do it, and then Ash is like, hey, Yui told us that we're supposed to go beat this guy up, so let's go. And he just like brings his apprentice Steve along, and the three of them just show up to beat Trickster, and Nia's there to film it for TikTok. Like,
Ash has his aluminum bat hand add on. Oh yeah, this is gonna be
Steve
great.
has a baseball bat too. You're right. Every,
Oh Lord.
everybody more bats than a baseball game at this point. Um,
Everybody pulls up to the same warehouse. Ash is just Ash is just pulling out baseball bats, passing it around.
all right, so she knows where Trickster, fuck, goes to beat him up. Ash follows you. Yui brings Bats and Steve. And then there's Steve. Hold on. Those three. Bloop. Okay, so then Steve just gets dragged along. I think Steve could die.
I just thought of something, a very Ash thing that might happen.
Yeah.
Um,
He accidentally kills Yui or Steve.
no.
Okay.
They're getting ready to go in there and kick his ass, and Ash is like, "Hang on, guys. We can't just kick his ass or we'll go to jail." And then Nia's like, "I think there's somebody in there." He's like, "Cool. Record it." And so she's TikToking live as Quentin gets murdered. And then she's just like, "Hey guys, he just killed him." And Ash is like, "It's self-defense now. Let's go."
Yes.
It's a baseball bat with a chainsaw.
Um, I think in the fight we could probably lose Steve. I think Steve could die.
Oh no.
I'm so sorry. I love him.
I feel like he could live though. I mean, it's one guy against, well, even if it was just against Yui.
No, so I think Yui and Ash could definitely take Trickster, but I think if he was gonna try, I think to put into DBD terms, I think he would tunnel and face camp Steve out of this match as soon as possible because he is the weakest link.
Or he might try and get Nia.
Nia's
Because
also a
again,
weak link, yes.
she's the old, like, she's who he was coming to get anyway.
True, you're right. That's the whole point of this story.
If he's going to go down, he wants to try and take Nia with him. Now the question is, can she urban evade him?
Can she balance landing her way out of this situation? What's her third perk?
The one thing with the
Oh,
your shit lasts
Streetwise.
longer. Yeah.
Well, that just makes her phone battery last longer so she can TikTok live even more. You know, that one perk nobody uses because Built to Last got buffed.
Yeah.
Um, I hate that they make their own perks like obsolete. um,
Who takes self-care now?
right? Why would you take self care if you can make it so that your entire team self cares?
Yeah, and then all four of us can self-care individually.
My favorite moments are when everybody's just in a group standing next to each other self caring.
Mhm.
That's my favorite. I love that. Um, okay, so do we want him to be successful in getting Nia?
He can, I think. Because otherwise the police are gonna get like we're gonna have another trickster scenario where he might possibly live.
Okay. So he takes out Nia after she TikTok lives Quentin getting murdered and gets murdered herself. Okay, hold on. Let me like move some of this around. I think it would be this order. Okay. So there's the Quentin stuff. Yui knows where he is. She leads the way. They all show up together, but I just want to put Nia before Ash and Steve,
Mhm.
just for my sake of remembering. So Nia gets murdered, and then Ash is like, now it's self defense.
Yeah, and now everybody comes in with the baseball.
Oh yeah, everyone beats the shit out of Trickster. You want Steve to live?
Yes.
Okay. For you, Lil Lucy, a Rob Zombie poster. um, so what they got? Yeah.
So the police come and break up the beating that is occurring, and they're probably at this point like, why are you beating the hell out of this man? They've got suspicions, but they're not sure. And they go ahead and cuff him and the other people that were involved in the fight. And they're like, here, watch this video.
Mm.
So they go ahead and they get Trickster secured. So the only people that are not cuffed at this point are Jill, Tap, and Yunjin, right?
Wait, what now?
And okay, so they broke up the fight.
Yeah.
They cuff the combatants,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and they're like, "Wait, watch this video. We weren't just beating the hell out of them for no reason." And so Tap and Jill go ahead and start watching the video, and Yunjin's just like, "Hey, I need to talk to him because he's my client and all that," knowing like full well what happened. And then we get the moment where they all go to watch this video, and Yunjin just slides the door shut and latches it, turns around, and gets to make her own video or her own music.
As in, she's gonna murder everyone here. No witnesses.
What? No, she's gonna do the same thing to Trickster he did to the, you know, everybody else.
Oh, she's gonna kill Trickster?
She might not kill him. She's just gonna make sure that he begs and does exactly what he did to everybody else.
Oh, I thought you were going along this. I thought you were going the path of she's still going to preserve her and Trickster's careers by making sure nobody leaves this warehouse.
No, she's just gonna make sure that the last track that he makes that she's recording and then can sell. Yunjin's retiring.
Agi's with me. She wants Yunjin to kill everyone and escape with Trickster.
There's no way she would do that. There's
Okay.
no way.
Okay. If you insist.
He was gonna kill her. Like, even if she came around, he's still going to.
Hmm. One day. But if she kills him, if she kills everybody here, um, I'm good with that though. So we never really picked a location, and we kind of hand waved that. Just basically, it's all around the world. He's traveling. He's an artist. This takes place pretty much anywhere. Either which way, Yunjin is gonna be an iconic girl boss that beats his ass. Yes. So who lives? Ash, Steve, Tap, Jill, Yunjin. Those are our survivors.
Ash Tap, Jill,
Steve.
Yunjin, Steve. Get everybody.
We don't need to list Jake.
Hey, Lord Sylvie.
Yeah, I think that's a good rundown. So, okay, before I run through this, just a reminder. Um, a Trickster heard Bill cough once and said, "Absolutely not. That's never going in my music." He heard David speak and was like, "That British accent? Absolutely not. Never." Um, Jake doesn't even know he fucking exists because the man's out in the woods. Trickster in the woods? Never. So those three aren't even part of this equation. But where we start off, the screams in so where we start off is with Kate, who, as a singer, has a beautiful voice, and Trickster decides that he needs her for his next hit single that he is working on. So he kidnaps Kate, tortures her, she's gone. Next, he's at a concert, and you hear the iconic pipes of Elodie screaming her fangirl heart out. And he's just like, that's what I need. So after the concert, kidnaps Elodie, kills her. At another concert, we have Claudette, Meg, and Dwight, the three of the four OG besties, who decided to go out. Claudette and Meg have iconic screams. Dwight's is okay, but like the three of them are a package deal, so Trickster ends up kidnapping all three of them to torture them for his music. While he's torturing them, though, the warehouse he took them to, Nia was actually doing her little graffiti thing and tagging it, and she starts hearing people screaming inside. So she sneaks in, sees this guy torturing some people with a bunch of knives, and they're like tied up and shit. And so she immediately just starts like goes live streaming on TikTok of this is insane. Look what's happening. And then somebody texts her or whatever. She gets a notification that makes a noise that Trickster hears. But before he can see where that was coming from, she sneaks away. But the video goes viral. Everyone hears about it. And so Trickster decides that he needs to find and kill Nia. That is his mission from this point forward because she is the one person who's at risk of exposing who he was in that video because like his identity wasn't fully clear, but he doesn't want to risk anything. The police are also like, "Hey, we should look into this." And some journalists are also like, this is really interesting. So Zarina and Nancy, our documentary and journal apprentice, want to investigate further. So as they're looking into this, they get in just a little bit too deep. And Trickster decides that he wants to get as many eyes off of him as possible. So he goes ahead and takes them out for snooping before they can find out too much. Nia actually goes on to Jane's show to talk about how scary of an experience that was watching somebody be murdered right in front of her. And she decides she's getting a little bit too much publicity for this, so she hires some bodyguards in the form of Yui. And then Ash and Steve show up with Yui. Because Ash thinks that they're all a package deal, whereas Yui's kind of like, I'm trying to do my thing here.
It's just like, please leave me alone, you creepy old man.
Right? Like Yui can handle this. She doesn't need Ash and Steve, but Ash is there anyway.
Once Ash has established you as his friend, it's too late.
If she wasn't so obviously a lesbian, I feel like Ash would be trying to hit that constantly. Um, Jane is Yui just wants to be an independent woman, 100%. Because
That's what
Nia,
most people say when they meet Ash.
yeah, checks out. Because Nia went on to Jane's show, she's the next best contact to get to Nia that Trickster knows. So he ends up killing Jane in the process of trying to get information of where he can get to Nia. But unfortunately, he doesn't have time to find Nia because he is going on tour. Um, do we want to go with the stubbed toe story?
Yeah.
Okay. At some point, Trickster gets pulled into questioning. I don't know, he's in the wrong place, wrong time, whatever. They suspect maybe the back of his head, the hair matched, and they just want to question him at the police station. So Jill's busy doing some interrogation shit, and Leon gets up to go file some paperwork and stubs his toe, and you just hear that iconic "ugh" from Leon. That Trickster just music to his ears, quite literally. He needs that moan in his music like yesterday. So while he was able to get out of the questioning just fine, they didn't really have anything on him. He decides that before he goes on tour, he needs Leon. He needs him, and I understand that because I also need Leon. You didn't hear it from me. I that who hacked my bot? Somebody hacked my body. Hello, hi, I'm back. Hi, this is Dino. So he kidnaps Leon, tortures him for an extensively long period of time. Do not call me out, Aki. Tortures him for a very long time, just fully enjoying the sounds of Leon in pain, as we all do on the regular. No iron will here.
Mm-hmm.
And then he officially goes on tour. While he's on tour, they're doing a promo event at a theme park, and a roller coaster behind him, they just hear the loudest, most piercing, iconic scream ever. That just as the roller coaster is just going through, it's all they can hear. Production like freezes because they're just like, we have to wait until this is over. It's the sound guy is having a fit. Trust me. I've worked on a few movies. The sound guys are the most sensitive motherfuckers about everything. We had a ghost on a set that I was on that was making a lot of noise, and the sound guy was mad at every living person in that building. Okay.
Oh my god.
You said worst, you thought worst. Thank you, Augie. Okay. So, but Trickster sees the artistic opportunity in that scream, so he finds out who that was, and when the opportunity strikes, he kidnaps Lori and murders her. Um, while he's on tour, one of the nights he takes a break at a bar. He runs into this guy named Ace, who's a gambling man, and he thinks, you know what, this is a pretty easy target here. So he bets Ace that he can't hold a rag of chloroform to his own face for more than a minute. And Ace takes that bet and he loses and gets passed out, kidnapped, murdered. Jeff, he schedules a private tattoo session with the guy and gets him isolated in that way because usually it's just you and the artist in the tattoo room, and it was private and off the record because nobody needs to know what Trickster does to his body in his free time. You're not entitled to that information just because he's famous. So he again kidnaps Jeff, murders him, records the screams, etc. The same pattern. Fung and Cheryl, two besties, are out, and Fung is a famous gamer. And because they happen to be in the same place as Trickster, Cheryl makes the joke of, "Oh my gosh, it's Fung Min! She's so famous!" And then other people are like, "Oh my god, Fung Min, who's that?" But she starts getting all of their attention of the crowd. Trickster's very jealous, and so he decides that his next target is going to be Fung. I feel like I should switch Adam and Cheryl around.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that would make sense.
that would make sense. Let me just. So he takes care of Fung and Cheryl at the same time. And. Boop. Can I delete that row? No? Yeah, okay. And then continues on tour where he runs into Adam, who's just like on his way to a train, enjoying a nice little perfect day in his peaceful life, and it should remain peaceful that way. Excuse me. And in reality, nothing should ever harm Adam because he's the most perfect human being on
Mhm.
this roster. Um and he has a lovely singing voice. And so he's just humming, and Trickster's like, "That's what I need. I need that voice." And so Trickster again kidnaps, murders, continues on for Felix. Felix wore his ski pants out and about for whatever reason because they make his butt look good.
Mhm.
And Trickster noticed because as we all like to call him, Twinkster, he noticed that ass. And wanted not only the ass but the screams on his new hit single that he's working on. So Felix got targeted. Michaela, I'm gonna go with Augie's. Michaela was in a Hot Topic, just shopping. She's looking at the wall of t-shirts, and suddenly she gets this sense that, like, as an empath, she knows she's in danger. Uh, but as like a normal human being, she doesn't realize Trickster's right behind her. And so, Hot Topic is notoriously very dark store. Nobody sees her just get dragged out of the mall. Well, nobody sees her get dragged out of the Hot Topic, and then malls are dead anyway. Nobody's in the mall, so nobody sees
That's
her
true.
getting kidnapped out of the mall.
To
Now,
say the mall up the road from me, I'm pretty sure there's generally only one person in that hot, and
yeah,
literally no one would notice.
yeah, I was just like, as I'm saying this, I was like, new fear unlocked.
Yeah.
I will, and that's usually the mall I go to now. Nope, I'm gonna go to the busy fancy mall now.
Dude, especially since they walled up a bunch of the areas,
Yes.
and then they moved when the children's the little, like, penny rides,
Mm-hmm.
and it laughs. So every once in a while, because we mall walk, 'cause 50, um, and we'll just be walking, and since there's nobody there, there's just this echoing of
That's
it's horrible.
horrifying. I hate that.
I'm
Um,
pretty sure it's next to, like, I think it's next to, like, the Auntie Anne's or something now, because every time it gets moved, we walk by and every single store employee is just so unhappy to have it there.
that's so unfortunate. I know it's I don't even want to call it a mall. The one up the street from me,
Mhm.
that is like so dead that the only thing there is Bass Pro Shop and Kohl's, and they have
And
exterior entrances. They don't even like you don't even go into them through the mall. The mall is still open. You can still walk inside for some ungodly reason.
Just punched my mic. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Uh, I actually threw Alex a birthday party there.
At the mall
Um,
near me,
yes, because there is an arcade in there.
8-bit.
What?
It's called 8-bit. It's a bar arcade, a barcade.
Did they update it? This one was a non-alcoholic one
Oh, no, there's two of them.
before.
So there's one downtown that is a bar version of the
Okay.
one that's here. Arcade
Yeah, Arcade
Legacy.
Legacy.
Yes.
Because we got like they have a DDR machine there. They've got like 90s stuff. So anyway, I had a birthday party for Alex in this location. We're all just sitting outside eating pizza. And then apparently somebody was going mall walking with their toddler with squeaky shoes. And literally you're just hearing the squeaks echoing through the entire mall.
Oh, wow.
It's just constantly, like, I swear to God, it was echoing like a half of the place.
That that is kind of creepy.
We
Uh,
used to go there to play Pokemon.
aw, that's
Yeah.
adorable. It might still be there. And I think the Be Active is still there. But yeah, this is a dead fucking mall. If somebody got kidnapped from that mall, no one would notice.
Dude, somebody didn't even have to wouldn't have to be kidnapped. They would just have to, like, take them to where the Bigs was and then kill them there. No one would find the body for, like, 3 years.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Nobody goes over there because they don't heat it or cool it or anything.
I live by Detroit. We only get one mall in the area. The other is in the middle of the state, so Hot Topic slash mall is actually pretty busy. That is so rare. I think I know when a mall, because of the company that I work for, has a store there. Um,
I was gonna say the one, with the, Cheesecake Factory is usually actually pretty busy, but that's, like, the
yeah,
only one that I
our
can think
fancy
of.
mall is busy.
Yeah.
Stuffed Bonnie in the men's room, and people wouldn't even question the smell.
Yeah.
Stop it. The men's room or juniors. When I worked at Kohl's, I worked in the kids department, and sometimes I would fill in for juniors. Kids was fine. Like, a mom didn't know what size her jeans her son wore, and so like they would literally have like every side just like thrown to the floor, but it was fine. Like, I just pick it up and fold it with no fear. Juniors, if there were clothes on the floor, there was always fear, because we have found bloody tampons, urine, and
Oh
shit
god.
buried in piles of clothes in the juniors' dressing rooms. It is vile and disgusting.
I worked at Kohl's for about 3 months, and they pulled me once for the little kids area, and they did not like me there because you know how I am with kids.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I'm constantly just walking around with wet wipes and just like, because everything's so sticky.
Yeah, like kids are gross, but that was vile. Like, teenagers are vile. It
And
was horrendous.
and I didn't get taught how to fold things because I was working on their freight team. I was literally like, I would get the overload or over
Overflow.
yeah, and then I would they put me in charge of organizing everything up top because they realized very
Yeah.
early that I don't like working with people, but I am very organized, focused. So they just threw me in the upstairs, gave me all the boxes, and had me organize everything up there. Uh,
I love
which I
that.
did enough of a good job that the manager like told me that if I changed my mind, she would keep me on the books. She kept me on there for 6 months. It's
Wow.
like I'm not coming back. I promise.
I do know that the Kohl's that I worked at still has the same store manager who fucking loved me. Like, my sister got a job at that Kohl's simply because when she dropped off her application and they saw her name, they were like, "Do you know Carmen?" Like, they loved me. So if anything ever happened and I lost my job, like, I know I could literally walk into that building and be like, "I need money." They would not question taking me back.
I was working at one in Kentucky, so it was a long drive, like a 4-hour shift
Ew.
on Tuesday every week.
Gross. No.
So I was like, "Yeah, I'm not coming back." She's like, "Well, we're gonna keep you on the roster for a little bit." 6 months later, I finally got the survey, and I'm like, they finally gave up."
All right.
So
But
anyway, we were
yeah,
on Michaela.
yeah. So Michaela gets kidnapped from a mall. No one knows because malls are dead. And then so Jonah, very smart guy, is starting to figure this shit out. And make some ties that it's Trickster. So Trickster catches wind of that and decides that he needs to eliminate Jonah from the equation so that he doesn't get caught that way. Um, Once Jonah is taken out, he continues back on his tour. And then he runs into Quentin, who he thinks is going to be an easy target, and he chloroforms him, and Quentin falls asleep very quickly. And so Trickster starts driving him off to the warehouse, but then Quentin suddenly wakes up. And then Trickster tries to put him out with chloroform again, and Quentin wakes back up again, like a minute later. Like, Quentin just, he needs sleep, but his body's so used to not sleeping and forcing itself to stay awake that, like, the chloroform will knock him out, but he's back within, like, a minute or two. So this is very stressful, and while Trickster's trying to take him to this warehouse, um, Yunjin's following him, and Yunjin hired Tap as kind of an inside to privately investigate the police work that's going on so she can keep details. And so Tap is also following Trickster. But Jill is suspicious of like Tap's intentions as a private investigator and his involvement with all of this. So she's also following Tap, who is following Trickster, who is also being followed by Yunjin to this warehouse. Also, going to the warehouse is Yui, who I don't know, through like her gang connections or something, caught wind of Trickster kidnapping this guy, going to this warehouse, and she's like, you know what? This has been a good job, but if I can move on and away from Ash, I'll do it. So I'm gonna go and beat this guy up. She grabs her bat. Or no, she doesn't grab bat. Ash hands out the bats. Yui just goes
Yeah.
to. Yui's ready to like. I was gonna say fist him, but that's not the. That's not the word that we're looking for.
No.
So Yui goes to beat up Trickster, and Nia, uh, Ash is like, "Hey, Yui's going to beat him up. We're supposed to go with her." They're not, but Ash says they are. So he grabs his apprentice Steve, and then Nia thinks, "Cool, a fight. That'll be cool to live stream. I'll go with you too." So they all go along, and before they can beat Trickster up, they're like, Ash is logical and says, if we just beat this guy up, we're gonna be in trouble. We need, a reason. I see Catan in the background. So cute. Um, uh, and so Nia's like, yeah, I can live stream this on TikTok of this guy murdering Quentin. And so he does, or she starts recording it. Quentin dies. And then Ash is like, that's our cue. He hands out the baseball bats to Yui, and Steve grabs his own, attaches it to his arm. And then Trickster sees Nia and immediately goes for Nia because that's what he's been after this whole time. He just wants Nia gone. He wants the evidence gone. He needs to get that taken care of. So he ends up murdering Nia. And at that point, Ash is like, yep, this is self-defense now. Beat him up. And so Yui, Ash, and Steve start beating up the Trickster. And then in shows up Tap, Jill, and Yunjin. Tap and Jill break up the fight and immediately handcuff everybody who was fighting. So Trickster, Yui, Ash, and Steve. And then Yui, Ash, and Steve are like, no, but you need to like watch this video that dead girl took because that's why we're beating him up. It's because he murdered her and this guy over here, that body. And so they show the video, and then the cops are just like, holy shit, this guy has been murdering people. But Yunjin's like, fuck, we have a song to put out. I won't have time for this. Trickster probably likes the beating. He probably does. I could see him having that kink. He's more masochistic, definitely. No. Is it sadist? Masochist is if you like the pain, sadist is if you like
Yeah.
doing. Yeah, he's more sadistic. But I can see a touch of masochism. Ash is a masochist.
Oh yeah.
He is into everything. Um, and so she grabs Trickster and oh, hi Catan. I see her. She's so pretty. Um, so she grabs Trickster, takes him off to a secluded area of the warehouse, closes the door, and makes sure that she gets enough vocals from him to be able to finish his last track before she can retire on all of the money that it's going to earn because he's never going to make a song again. Dun dun dun. The end.